Welcome back to the Doubles TV, the realist channel on YouTube. It's your Manchester United vs Liverpool preview. Now, yes, this is probably going to be United's biggest game of the season. It's a job-defying game. It's a season-defying game because this is Man United's only chance of silverware this season. You know, Liverpool recently have won the EFL Cup. You know, now apparently that's a major thing because when United won it last season, apparently it didn't mean anything. It was a Mickey Mouse trophy according to some Liverpool fans. But no, we need to go into this game positive, in my opinion. Now, there are a lot of Manchester United fans out there who are going into this game with a negative mood, who think we can't do it because, let's be honest, Liverpool are in sensational form. I think they've lost once in the last 20 games or something daft like that. I know they're unbeaten in the last 9. They only lost recently to Arsenal, who are also in a title race with the English Premier League just so close with this current title race between Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City. So hopefully with their most recent win against Sparta Prague as well with Liverpool during midweek, they might be a bit knackered because, let's be honest, Jurgen Klopp did play a very strong team against Sparta Prague in that Europa League. I mean, you could say it was to get a boost players back for likes of Szoboszlai and Mohamed Salah, who have recently returned from injury. But at the same time, you're playing a midweek game and it does take a lot of toll on certain players. But this is Manchester United's opportunity because we've had a week off. You know, we've got amazing news from Erik ten Hag, the likes that Rasmus Højlund, Mason Mount, Harry Maguire are going to be back in the squad, and a possibility of Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well is incredible news because United have been very lacklustre when it comes to availability, and Ten Hag's selections has been very minimum when it comes to helping us impact games when we need to make our important substitution almost. Ten Hag has pretty much had his arms tied behind his back for the majority of this season with the amount of injuries we've had this season. It's just been an absolute impossible task for any manager to try and reach when it comes to the expectations Erik ten Hag laid out from last season, winning the EFL Cup, getting into the FA Cup final, you know, how well we did in Europe and getting 3rd place in the Premier League. Erik ten Hag kind of kicked himself in the arse due to the fact that he set his expectations so high with how great we did last season. But this season was always not going to be as good as the first season. We all knew this. But at the end of the day, we need to now dissect and talk about Liverpool as a whole. So in Liverpool's most recent game against Sparta Prague, they won 6-1 and it was like 11-1 or 11-2 or something on aggregate. Now, they're the stats you don't need to know. But what the stats you do need to know is that Mohamed Salah played in that game, and that was his first start since returning from injury. So Jurgen Klopp clearly trusts his fitness now and he will be back for this game. No doubt he'll be starting at Old Trafford tomorrow afternoon. And he got 3 assists and 1 goal in that game. Now, Mohamed Salah, we need to talk about him because despite how long he's been out of injury at the moment, he is still Liverpool's most important player and arguably their best player alongside someone like Virgil van Dijk. But if you look at Mohamed Salah's stats this season, I think it's something like 19 goals and 10 assists or something in his last 30 games. His stats are absolutely ridiculous and he has been in elite form this season. He is world class, and what I respect about Mohamed Salah is that, you know, he is getting on a bit. He is over 30 now and he's become a lot less of a direct technical dribbler and just being more in and out around the box and that more poacher's instinct type winger. You know, he's still really fast, he's still really strong, he knows how to punish defences and his stats say it all for this season. He is a very dangerous player, as we know. I don't need to be sit here telling you about how dangerous Mohamed Salah is, but with United not having an out and out left back, no doubt Jurgen Klopp and Mohamed Salah are going to have some sort of plan to try and penalise Manchester United and punish Manchester United when it comes to trying winning this game because they'll be wanting to go for the full lot. It's supposedly Jurgen Klopp's last season at Liverpool. I know he's done this whole farewell video and stuff, and fans, I think that Xabi Alonso's going to replace Jurgen Klopp, and that's probably what is going to happen. But you know, how many years did Fergie stay on for when he said it was his last season? You know, at the end of the day, things do change, and if Liverpool win 4 trophies this season, which they are on path to do, they can still win the Premier League, they can still win the FA Cup, and they can still win the Europa League. Yes, it's not, you could say, an official quadruple, but to my knowledge, no team has ever won all 4 trophies in one season before. So at the end of the day, we've got to be careful of Liverpool because they will have a lot of determination and they will want to be punishing Manchester United. And let's not forget as well, it's a derby. You know, there'll be so much tension in the air. There'll be so much like emotion going through players who have played for United or played for Liverpool for so long. But this is where I think Manchester United might have the advantage, and that, as always, is the 12th man, Old Trafford. I'll be going to the game tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. This is the first time I'm ever going to watch Liverpool live at Old Trafford. I can't wait, to be honest, and I will be singing my heart out. Doesn't matter where I'm sat. I will. If it doesn't matter, I don't even know where my seats are. To be honest, I could be in row Z, or I could be sat next to your Liverpool fans. I could be sat next to Eric on the bench. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to be singing, and I'm getting every single fan to be singing along, because this is the fans' opportunity to be the 12th man and boost our team and give that morale an extra push. Because, like I said at the start of the video, the mood going into this game is really low, and United haven't been playing well recently. But with the likes of Rasmus Højlund coming back, with the likes of Andre Onana being in really good form at the moment, you know, we can maybe do something. I mean, look at today. Coventry have just gone and beaten a Premier League side in Wolves. Anything's possible in the FA Cup. It's one of the most historic and one of the most incredible competitions in the entirety of Europe. And never mind England. You know, the FA Cup is a well-respected competition and has been going on for years and years upon end in English football. But Manchester United, this is where we need to have a talk, because United recently have broken quite a few records for the wrong reasons. And let's not start again or continue this cycle tomorrow, because Man United have not lost an FA Cup game at home in over 100 years. So with these bunch of players, it is a possibility that we can F this up, to be honest. But how do I think Manchester United will set up is the main question. Now, the team that I think Erik ten Hag is going to go for is one of them teams where you know you're not going to be dominating the game, let's say. Because let's be honest, first let's look at the opposition. It's Liverpool. Secondly, let's look at the availability for Erik ten Hag. It's not the best. Like I said already, against Mo Salah, we haven't got an out-and-out left-back. So there's the first flaw already. But this is the team that I think Erik ten Hag will go for. And that is Andre Onana, Dalot, Evans, Varane, and Lindelof. That back line will bring a lot to this team, because we can still somewhat transition if we're on the ball, and we can push Liverpool back if we want to. We have seen it in previous games when we kind of use this formation. Yes, the teams that we've played against aren't as good as Liverpool, but you know, the foundation and the possibility of this team has kind of shown what ten Hag is trying to do with the available players that he's currently got. The midfield will be quite simple: Casemiro, Mainu and Bruno Fernandes. I was contemplating playing Casemiro because Casemiro has been very, very poor recently. But at the end of the day, it's Casemiro. You know, what has this guy won? Look at his trophy cabinet. Look at the experience this player has got. You need to play him in a game like this against Liverpool, despite his form. I know that it doesn't give the best message to players who have been playing better than Casemiro recently, but he is the best player we've got in the number 6 position. And if Erik ten Hag wasn't to play him, he'd be just handing the FA Cup to Liverpool already if we didn't play someone like Casemiro. But Bruno Fernandes as well, returning into the midfield, will be absolutely crucial. Bruno Fernandes is a false 9, or whether he's playing on the wing, we don't get the best out of Bruno Fernandes. He's got to be on point, is the best way to put it with Bruno Fernandes. If he wants to be petulant, he needs to be petulant, but he needs to show why Erik ten Hag made him captain tomorrow afternoon, because this is, you could say, our cup final. I know it's only quarterfinals or whatever round we're currently in, but at the end of the day, this is our FA Cup final, you could say, and so is every other game if we do make it post this game after the Liverpool match. And Bruno Fernandes needs to show why Erik ten Hag made him captain, and he needs to show Manchester United fans about how much he loves this team, and we've just got to see him on point. That's the best way I've got to put it. And the front three, it's kind of simple. Marcus Rashford on the left, Rasmus Højlund through the middle, and Alejandro Garnacho on the right. Now, who are United's most important players? For me, I've already said it briefly. It's got to be Andre Onana, Rasmus Højlund, but I'm also going to throw in Alejandro Garnacho. His performance against Everton in our most recent game was perfect. He didn't get a goal, he didn't get an assist, unless you're counting him winning the penalties as 2 assists, but he was so direct. The way he's developed this season is incredible, and I think he's a very underrated player for Man United, because certain fans still don't rate him, in my opinion. And from what I see online, from what I see speaking to certain fans, Alejandro Garnacho all season has played really out of position. You know, Marcus Rashford had been, you know, favoured playing on that left wing, and has Garnacho once complained? Has Garnacho once thrown a fit, or, you know, posted something on social media like embarrassing the manager, like a certain player that's currently playing out in Germany that certain fans love for some reason? I'm looking at you, Jadon Sancho, if someone hasn't got the gist of that. But at the end of the day, Alejandro Garnacho has had an incredible season when it comes to his development and learning a new role and playing in a new position on that right wing. He's balanced out our front three, and especially with the likes of Sancho, like I said, going to Dortmund, and Antony not being in good form. Garnacho has stepped up massively, and I have a lot of respect for him, and I can definitely see a lot of potential with Alejandro Garnacho. But let's talk about Liverpool's weaknesses. Now, there aren't many, let's be honest, and I am really pushing this, but for me, I found 3 weaknesses for Liverpool, and that is set pieces, counter-attacks and inexperience. Now, the first one with set pieces, United are terrible at set pieces. You know, short corners. Paul Scholes absolutely loves them. So let's take that one off for a second. You know, inexperience, I am pushing this, but Liverpool have got a current injury crisis, and with players like Conor Bradley, Kwanzaa and other players that are available, you know, Man United could maybe push something, you know, for like Rasmus Højlund. He needs to be staying away from someone like Virgil van Dijk. He's got to be pushing Kwanzaa or pushing that right-hand side where Conor Bradley's going to be playing, because, you know, you want to try and make them make a mistake almost. So with the more experienced players, like whether Joe Gomez plays or Andy Robertson or Virgil van Dijk, Rasmus Højlund has got to be very clever in how he tries and punishes Liverpool's defence. And like I said, counter-attacks. Now, this is how Manchester United have played recently. We haven't been playing the high line. We haven't been playing the Erik ten Hag way with whichever fans think that doesn't exist. There is a way, there is a method, and counter-attacks is not one of them. But it has been working, playing counter-attacking football. And we saw it against Sparta Prague. Yes, Liverpool were just lacking concentration because they were 4-0 up or something, whatever it was in their most recent game. But they still conceded a goal. And, you know, Man United are built for counter-attacks at the moment. Marcus Rashford was a master at it under the likes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He was brilliant with it last season as well, in certain moments, scoring so many goals for us. So maybe the low block and defending with Onana distributing the ball out wide or hitting the long ball to clear the area and stuff like that, I personally believe that that would be the best way to maybe defeat Liverpool. But I think it's going to be probably the most nerve-wracking game I'm ever going to watch, because I'm going to this live. For me, this is a massive moment for me, because I'm going to the game. This is the first time I'm going to be watching Man United versus Liverpool live in a stadium. And second of all, I think it's going to be 2-2 to both teams, and it's going to go to penalties. That's what I think is going to happen, and hopefully Man United can win on penalties. But that's just my opinion on it. And if that does happen, I'll be a nervous wreck. I'll probably have a cardiac arrest. But at the end of the day, it's a massive game. Manchester United versus Liverpool. Erik ten Hag versus Jurgen Klopp. Who will be the winner? We'll find out tomorrow afternoon. But anyway, if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. Leave a like on the video. Comment down below your predictions for Man United versus Liverpool. And I'll see you in the next one. Nice one.